Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again here to a Virtual Racing Network. We are live here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, of course, and Indianapolis, Indiana for tonight's race. It should be a great race, iconic track as IMS or Indianapolis Motor Speedway or Indy for short. Doesn't matter what you call it. As long as you show up to watch the race or race if you're in the league, it is a fantastic track indeed. We have a lot of stuff to go over here before we jump into it. Of course, we don't have the sponsors in the overlay, but a big shout out to Wool's Beard Co. Sponsoring this race and, of course, this series. And, of course, we can't leave out any of the sponsors on the broadcast side of things. Northwest Racing Series, Wool's Beard Co. We also have Hanover Wrecker Service, Huffman Designs, Racecore Online Racing League. There are several of them involved. World of Thunder that make it all possible here for this series and this broadcast to happen. So we are going to actually go ahead and jump to some new stuff that we have here tonight. As we're going to get Chris White in here if we can. If not, we'll see if he is here or not. So give us just a minute as we'll give him a quick notification to see if he is available to chat with us. Meanwhile, of course, we do have some graphics we can pull up on to the screen. One of those being the one you're seeing right now, your playoff leaderboard. Right now, of course, Jason Berg sitting at the top of the leaderboards in that number one spot, followed by Seth Fraser, Sean Brightsman, Chris White, Dan West Jr., I believe Brian Barnes, there we go, Jeff Stadden, a little hard for us to read, kind of small. Jesse Gray, John Ottenbacher, Stephen Paulson, Casey Tillman, and James Thurston is how they're going to be. And it looks like we do have Chris with us here. So we'll leave those points up here for just a moment as we're going to see if we can't get a hold of Chris White. Chris White, you got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on there?
Well, we got you here in the booth, and a little birdie getting it to us, letting us know the, not really the season-end champion, but the, we'll call it the preseason kind of, not the postseason here in the playoffs, but the, you know, I don't even know the technical word for it here, but the season before the playoffs champion here. So you come into the playoffs winning that, so does it give you a little bit of momentum boost knowing that you had a successful preseason? Now here in the postseason, we're going into the playoffs.
Yeah, you know, the regular season is done and over with, and it's always a good thing to finish up top, leading the points. Definitely shows that we've been pretty consistent, running well throughout the season. We've had our ups and downs, but fortunately, we finished the regular season as the points leader, regular season champ, I guess you could call it. And so, yeah, it gives a little bit of a momentum boost and a consistency factor going into the playoffs. In Indianapolis, tonight it's going to be a fantastic race. We've won here before, so looking forward to a good race.
And speaking of that, you yourself were kind enough to help us with some graphics here. So we're pulling one of them on to the screen now, and that is the playoff grid. Obviously, we're in the round of 12. We will be moving on to the round of 8, the 4, and then that champion will be crowned. So you got 12 drivers here tonight, and consequently about 14 drivers here. So most of the drivers that are in the chase are here tonight. So how much more pressure does that make it, knowing that everyone out there really wants this win? It's not somebody out there just trying to get a win just because they are getting it to move on.
Well, I haven't quite made it into the race yet, so I'm not sure exactly who's all in there or who's not. I'm coming in right now. So, but yeah, if chase drivers are in attendance tonight, then it's going to make it so much more critical to do the best we can and get that best finish to maximize points moving forward. We definitely want to try to keep that advantage over these other guys that we're running the chase with. Points are everything. So it's consistency, it's hitting our marks, and getting these good finishes throughout the playoffs.
That's definitely consistency is key when you come to these. And, you know, talk a little bit about this track here, not only being the first race, whether you're in real life racing or in sim. This is a very iconic track. and quite frankly, a different and kind of almost unique track. Is it's not really. I don't even want to say it's not a tri-oval. It's more of an actual oval. It's very fast, and you have to be careful of those little rumble strips down there. They can slow you down big time in the corners. So, what are the keys to getting around this track successfully?
Well, it's just hitting your marks, finding the best line you can possibly find that works best for you. It's you got four corners, turns 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're pretty much, I'd say, a little equal. I think I have my toughest time getting in and out of turn 1 and turn 2 at that end of the track. Turn 3 and 4 are my better corners there. But like I've said, we've run well here and come out on top here. I want to say it was the first race of season 2. So we're looking to capitalize on a good race and just do the best we can. That's all we could ask for, really.
We're definitely looking to see how it all plays out here. Who is going to be the first driver moving into the round of 8? Before we let you go here, we know you need to get some practice in. We know you got those sponsors on the car and shout out you want to give to get you here tonight and getting you into the playoffs.
Certainly got SimStar Motorsports. My team, as always, a single car team. It's been tough. It's been good. It's been fun, exhausting, all of the above. Running the Chevy Camaro tonight. Looking forward to a good race. Got to thank Waltz Beer Co. as always. Virtual Racing Network as always. Great broadcasts. And just got to thank everybody in the series for coming out and racing each week and making this series what it is. And, of course, all the fans out there, too. Hopefully they're in for an exciting race tonight to get this playoff started. So appreciate it. Thanks.
All right. Well, we will get him back to practice, and we'll be right back here in just 1 minute. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, 1:40 left on the clock before we get into qualifying. This is a countdown to green flag. That is the green flag for qualifying, not for the race. As we are moving forward here. Again, track looks amazing here. Going to be a little warm. We are hearing this track is a little slipperier. Wow, we can't talk tonight. Either way, it's more going to be a little more slick than it was during practice. That's what we were hearing through radio communications early on before we went live. We'll be keeping track of that. One thing we do want to keep track of here tonight is this right here, your cautions for tonight's race. As you can see right now, we don't have any 0 cautions for caution laps. We don't have any lead changes because we have not started yet. However, that will be changing throughout this race. We know these tires are good for about 5 laps tops. And then they get real squirmy. So we're going to see some cautions here tonight, no doubt. The question is, how many will we see and how will they affect your chase drivers? Again, we'll pull that chase graphic up periodically throughout the night so you can get a feel for that. And they'll let you know where everyone is according to the playoff grid. That being said, let's go ahead and get your top bar up on the screen. You're watching the Northwest Xfinity Series presented by Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm here live on the Virtual Racing Network as we have about 5 seconds left on the clock. Practice is coming to an end. It is time to move on to your qualifying, which right now, Dan West Jr. at the top of the charts with a 50.738. Will he be able to keep that momentum going? Again, we don't have our normal drop down on the left for qualifying times. We do, but it acts a little funny, so we're not going to use that here. But we are going to drop down to the track with these drivers. Here is we'll be taking to the track momentarily. We'll see who the first one is going to be that is going to take out on to the track. And so far, no takers. These guys are waiting for this track to cool down a little bit, it looks like. It'll be interesting to see which one of them is first, and then they'll kind of slowly trickle out after that. They do have 10 minutes on the clock to get out there, as 30 seconds has already ticked away, and it will continue to fall off the clock until they go out there and run their laps in Again, the green flag is being shown here for qualifying, but no drivers taking it to the track here at the moment. Oh, we'll let y'all go grab a drink, something to snack on. Again, to go to that personal concession stand in your kitchen, grab you something to drink, something to snack on. As it looks like we're going to have our first driver looking to come out onto the track. And that is going to be none other than the 83 of Chris White, as we'll bring up your qualifying bar for said driver. And we'll see he's getting that steering wheel adjusted, make sure it's on tight, and doesn't want it to come off of his desk or during the qualifying. That would not be a good thing. Looks like Dana Rogers in the 07 is going to be the first one to actually roll off a pit road. Jesse Gray in the 08 machine also out on pit road. All right, in the 07 of Dana Rogers out on the track. We'll just have to kind of wait and see how times come in for everybody involved here tonight. That is the only driver out on the track here at the moment. All right, again, keeping track of all this to see how it goes. A couple of more drivers out on the track with Dana Rogers. Probably going to be the first one to put in a time. It looks like it's somewhere going to be James Thurston, Jesse Gray, possibly Roy Grande putting in times here in the moment. I'm not sure what is causing that tick that we are seeing. It is definitely not something we are wanting to see out there as it continues to creep in here every great once in a while. So we may have to do some more looking in. But Dana Rogers going to take it to the top of the charts at the moment with a 51.891. A fantastic run here for Dana Rogers in that 07 machine. What kind of time we're about to put in? James Thurston going to be one of the next drivers in. And we'll see. It may be Jesse Gray or Roy Grande going to be putting in a lap as well. All right, James Thurston putting it to second place. Jesse Gray in the 08 going to go to a third in the 08 machine with a 51.624. Roy Grande in the 51 is second. And we'll see. Dan West Jr. is out on the track in the number 51 machine. We know he's fast. He was the fastest in qualifying as well, and I don't see any reason that he would not be running at the top of the charts here as well momentarily. He is that good. Again, folks, we're going to hope the internet holds up here. It has been working better tonight. We still obviously having some issues here as a few more drivers going to come in. Chad Mallett going to take to third place at the moment with a 51.420. Seth Frazier to second with a 51.020. As Jeff Stabnow also coming out on the track. Casey Tillman on track. You can also see times on the top of your screen. So make sure you take a look at the top bar. You can see those times as they come in. Oh, again, we're keeping a close eye on some stuff. We've been watching a lot of stuff this week, making sure everything runs as smooth as we want it to. And we'll have to keep a close eye. Now that is Jeff Stabnow coming around the corner, almost in that wall. He was a little off of it, but still very close. Good job to stay off of it. Man, it was a very, very close run there to try to get into that outside wall. We'll see. Let's jump over to Sean Brightsman, who is out on the track as well in that number 46 machine. The question is, what kind of time will he put in? He's always fast, but will he take it to the top of the charts here tonight in that 46 Walls Beard Co. machine? All right, 46, Sean Brightsman. Can he top James Thurston in that 50.954? That is going to be a tough feat to beat. It's a fast time, but I think the 46 may have something for him. We'll see if he's able to make it happen. We'll know here shortly as Sean Brightsman coming to the flag stand here on the front stretch. And 51.001. That'll put him in third place here on his first lap. Stephen Paulson also out on the track as he will be taking his first lap here momentarily as he just completed his warm-up lap here just a few moments ago. And what kind of time is it going to be? 51.709 as he will take it to the about 12th place or so. We'll see if he can improve on that. Will he get into the 50s here momentarily? Time will tell as he's got 52 seconds to get around this track. That is plenty of time as he's already started lap number 2. Obviously, Frank Harris has not come out on the track in the number 11 machine. He will not be able to get around the track. He just doesn't have time to complete a warm-up lap, much less a first or second lap. And we'll see how it all plays out as he's coming to the line right there. And he will put in 51.620, and they'll jump him one spot to 12th place as he's going to go ahead and shut it down. We'll get rid of your qual bar off the screen. And it is time to move on to your main event. The race here tonight is going to be 60 laps around Indianapolis Motor Speedway. All right, again, we don't have our grid yet into the overlays, so we are going to have to wing it here just a little bit, as we know who some of your front runners are going to be. That we're just waiting for them to take to the grid. As they are doing so, and actually we have a grid camera here, as they're going to be right up close to Jeff Stabnow and the two of James Thurston, who obviously just barely squeaked it out there. But again, they're rolling off the grid, so your starting grid in not necessarily this order again, as we do not have that grid on handy. We're having to build it still. It's going to be Jeff Stabnow and the two of James Thurston on row 1. On the row 2 is going to be Sean Breitzman. And let's see, I'm not sure who is back there with him. The 32, that's going to be Seth Frazier. Behind them is, of course, again, not in this particular order, going to be Chris White, John Ottenbacher, Roy Grande, Jesse Gray, Dana Rogers, Casey Tillman, Frank Harris, Dan West Jr., James Vining, Chad Malik, and Stephen Paulson will be your drivers starting the race here tonight. Hopefully that tick goes away. We're trying to work on it and figure out what is causing it here tonight. Again, we do apologize for it. We're working to get it sorted out as quickly as possible, as obviously we don't want it any more than you do. It looks like we are just about ready to get this thing going. Jeff Stabnow going to be taking them to the green here in just a few moments as they're pacing around this monster of a track. It is, I believe, a 2-mile track, if I'm not mistaken. Again, some of the overlay features in the back end we don't have in yet either for all our information. But what we do know, we don't need any overlays to let us know the pace car is diving off. And we're about ready to get this thing going here for tonight's race, as it's going to be Jeff Stabnow on pole for tonight's hits. On the outside is going to be James Thurston in the 2. A green flag's out, and we are racing for the first time here tonight, as it has been a doozy of a race. Far in practice and qualifying, I guess more of a doozy of an event, not necessarily part of the race, but still been some good practice. We saw some good times come in. Saw some pretty good wrecks too. Let's hope we don't see those in the event. But 24 of Jeff Stabnow on the inside. He is fighting for everything he has, trying to hang on to that first position, as James Thurston in the 2 is trying to get him. But here comes Sean Breitzman as well on the inside of Thurston. Thurston now under fire, and here comes Chris White in the 83 machine with that SimStar Motorsports number 83 machine. He's trying to fight his way to the front as well. So we'll see if any of these guys can get the win here, or will it be an upset from somebody in the back. As these guys, again, are going to hang on for your life out there. But, well, again, we just have to keep an eye on everything here tonight to see how it goes. And I may have figured out what was causing a little bit of a tick. We'll definitely be working on that here momentarily to let them know if that is indeed the case. We may have figured it out, but Jeff Stabnow out front. Sean Breitzman hanging on the 3rd, but he is battling very, very hard. But Chris White trying to get in there and steal that spot of 3rd place away. Again, a 3rd place is going to be a good finish if he can hang on to it. It'll be interesting to see if he can indeed get by that 46 machine of Breitzman. Breitzman is no slouch when it comes to any race, and of course not here at Indy either. He is going to be a force to be reckoned with. James Vining right behind him in the 330 machine, or 333 machine, sorry, out there putting a good run together. And I want to go back here. He's back in 15th. That's the 11 is being scored, but number 12 on the car of Frank Harris. One of the first drivers in this series to run a custom number, even though it's a number 12. Absolutely amazing there. I love these guys running these custom numbers on the paint job. We'll have to get that number from him. We can put them on the overlays now here with the new set of overlays we have. So it's awesome to see him running that new set of overlays. As we're going to go back to the front / mid of this field. Look at all these guys battling right here. They are still stuck together like glue, bumper to bumper. And that includes Stabnow, Thurston, Bryceman, White, Vining, Fisher, West, and Malik. All of them right there together. So it'd be very, very interesting to see how it all plays out for all of these guys, as Jeff Stabnow has a sizable lead here over the rest of the field, including James Thurston and Sean Breitzman, who are the closest in the vicinity. Meanwhile, I want to go back to Seth Frazier, who looks like he's off the pace here. Don't see any damage to that skull number 32 machine, but he definitely off the pace just a little bit as he fell back about 3 or 4 spots. So something happening there as we go back to the front, as it's going to be still Stabnow out front, but Thurston, Breitzman, and White right there together, having a good little battle. So we'll see how this one plays out for them. All right, again, what a race it's been so far. We heard about 5 laps, and we may be seeing issues with these tires. We've gone 6 already. We completed 5. We're on lap number 6 right now. So that being said, this could be the point where we start seeing some issues from these tires, as they're going to have to baby them just a little bit. We talked about that spot. You don't want to go right down there. Below that white line, you do not want to go down there. If you get down there, bad things can happen. So that is, of course, the last place you want to get, is it can drastically slow your car down and cause you a lot of problems. You're probably going to lose 3, 4, 5 spots at least if you manage to get stuck on that. So you do not want to get stuck on that at any point during this race. However, somebody who is stuck on cruise control, that is the 24, but I'm wondering if them tires are already starting to wear just a little bit, as James Thurston has started to reel him in just a little bit. Really, so has the rest of the field. He had a nice sizable lead, and it has drastically shrunk here in the last lap or so. So tires starting to become a factor possibly early in this race, as Jeff Stabnow lead has shrunk just a little bit. We'll keep an eye on it. Right now it's 0.4. Now it's 0.416. So it has actually grown just a little bit. So maybe they found something and he had to find something else, or maybe got out of his groove just a little bit. Is we're going to have somebody coming down pit road, and that's going to be the 92 of Casey Tillman, who's going to go ahead and bring it down pit road well short of the 21 to 22 lap fuel window that we are expecting. Alright, trying one thing here to see if that does indeed fix any issues with the stream here. We'll see if it does. Looks like it's improved it a little bit, so that may have been the issue we were having. So we will let it run here for a little bit and find out. But Jeff Stabnow out front, still leading this race, and I might say doing a bang-up job of it at that, is Chris White is in 4th, Sean Breitzman 3rd, and James Thurston hanging in there in 2nd place. Thurston is doing One heck of a job to hang in there at second place. Bright's trying to run him down, but Thurston has actually closed the gap to Jeff Stout now to 0.133 seconds. That gap is getting smaller and smaller, but here comes the 46 of Brightman. Brightman's going to get by him. Sean Brightman will go ahead and take second place. So we told you he would be someone you had to look out for. Anytime you came in to the race. Ooh, Sean Brightman gets loose. That is not what he wanted to see. And I guarantee you, if you're James Thurston, you just ordered a new fire suit right then and there on the spot, because that probably scared the living crap out of him. So James Thurston doing a good job of not getting into the 46 of Sean Brightman as he gets a little loose there. Not sure if contact was made between them. But I do not believe so. I don't see any damage to either one of those. I think Brightsman just got loose early. And look at the shine coming off these. You know, we talk about we have this HDR on so you can see the sun shining down on these cars. And look at it right there. Just you can see the sun shining off these, especially right in here. You'll see this glare come off the windshield here in a moment. Probably be on the other stretch here as the sun not shining on it right there. But you can see a little bit of on the backside there. Now, of course, the camera angle not going to work in our favor, but there it is. You can see that glare coming off the hood of Dan West Jr. That sun is in their face. They're having to come there. So any one of these drivers that is running that HDR on here that iRacing put in recently, awesome feature, looks amazing. These cars absolutely stunning on there as you see that glare come off the back bumper. But if you are using it, especially in the case of Jeff Doudna, we'll talk about that for a minute. We know he's running HDR. We know he's running VR headset. So you can only imagine having that bright glare from the sun like it would be in real life in VR. It's almost overwhelming to be in a VR headset, but it goes to show kudos to iRacing for making it as realistic as they possibly can, and Jeff's dad now experiencing every bit of that right now as we can actually go on board with him in his helmet cam. Probably won't get the same experience that he has running on board with him, but we'll definitely try and see if we can see any of that glare. Again, you would see it on the windshield and on the hood. You can see the hood just got a little bit brighter, but the sun's not coming this way. We'll wait till we get to the front stretch as he's leading this race at the moment. Again, it's going to be interesting to see just how overwhelming it is. It's obviously not going to be quite as bad for us as it would be for him, but we'll see just what it looks like to be inside his car right now. Again, not too bad. A little cloudy out, so that is good for him as we go to the roll bar camera. And I'm still not seeing too bad, so that is good. Maybe he's not having to deal with too terribly much here tonight, so that is good news for him. We go a few spots back here. As those front three have kind of separated out a little bit. You have to go back to Chris White and Dan West Jr., two very good competitors that obviously are going to give it everything they have. If we get a caution, or I say when we get a caution, we'll go over the point standings coming into tonight's race, of course, and show you who all's in the playoffs once again. But a good little battle going on here for the front three, and then, of course, fourth and fifth putting their own little battle together as we go back through the field. James Vining and John Ottenbacher. Seeing John Ottenbacher back here in 8th place, almost unheard of. He may have one of the highest numbers in the league, but usually he's not this far back in the field, running currently 8th place. We'll see if he can get that Walls Beard Co. Beard Bond number 89 Chevy Camaro back to the front where it is used to be. Some other drivers back here, Steven Paulson, Chad Malik. Again, it's becoming almost dumb to say he's one of the newest drivers, but he is. He is one of the newest drivers here in the series. but I wouldn't call him new anymore by any means, but he still is probably one of the newest to our knowledge, but definitely not a new driver by any means. As we go back to the front, Jeff Stabnow just got past for the lead. James Thurston, now your new race leader. As we'll see right there, you see 0 lead changes as they're coming to the line, and that will be changing right there. 1 lead change here in tonight's race, and that just happened on that last lap as the lead from Jeff Stabnow was handed over to James Thurston. Thurston fought his way. Jeff Stabnow going to hit that rumble strip we talked about, and you saw the little hop he had. That's going to upset that car just a little bit, and it's going to be probably just enough that Sean Brightsman may be able to make a run on him and get that lead. So, or get that second place, sorry. Would have been the lead earlier if he had done it when he was in the lead, but we'll see if he's able to hang on, and he's not. Sean Brightsman will take second place away from him. And it looks like we have found the culprit that was causing the issues here with that little tick in the overlays. As we have gotten that sorted out, we'll just have to make sure that stays off during broadcast there. One of our, I wouldn't say they're an official partner, unofficial partner that is. We do a lot of work with Newegg and running that Newegg community Minecraft server off the PC, causing some CP issues there, so we have shut that down here during the broadcast, and looks like we have solved the problem. Obvious, of course, sitting right in front of our face, but again, we try to keep that up as much as we can for the players over there at Newegg. Again, not an official partner by any means, but someone we like to work with and get our products here. Pretty much every product in our streaming PC was purchased from Newegg or a Thermaltake, so make sure you check out both of them companies. If you're looking for water cooling, make sure you check out Thermaltake, and of course Newegg for all your PC parts. Again, not an official sponsor of ours or any way, but we definitely support them anytime we can. Jesse Gray back here in the OA machine, doing a heck of a job, battling in currently 8th position. We'll go back to the front. Again, sort of front. We got 3 drivers battling here. It's going to be Jeff Stabnow, who has fallen back to 5th now. Those tires just not hanging in there like he wanted. They are struggling here just a little bit. I'm sure he was up front for quite a bit, and that probably ate away at some of those tires. So obviously he is going to be trying to keep those tires under control and not wear them out any more than he absolutely has to, as obviously going to be struggling with them here just a little bit. So, again, keeping an eye on a lot of different stuff here tonight. To make sure everything is running good here for you. It looks like we're good for the most part, as it looks like James Thurston is going to go ahead and pull down pit road. 18 laps. This is probably within a fuel window. 18 to 21 is what we were hearing, somewhere in there. So this would probably be a scheduled stop, maybe a lap or two early, but I do believe it was a scheduled stop here for the 2 of James Thurston. He's going to go ahead and bring it down pit road. And there's going to be 4 tires and fuel for the number 2 machine. We go back up, and actually you do see Dana Rogers coming down, as well as Frank Harris. Frank Harris in that 12 machine having to back up just a little bit in that PPG number 12. And here comes some more drivers coming down pit road. We got Sean Brightsman coming down. Chris White going to be coming down, as well as Seth Frazier. coming down pit road and sneaking in is going to be the 333 of James Vining. And it looks like Chad Malik in the 6 machine is also going to sneak on down pit road for his pit stop as well. Sean Brightsman was running up front, so was Chris White. We'll take a look here and see how their stops go. And it looks like good stops for both of them. They get in, well, they get out clean. We'll go back to Jeff Stabnow, who is back to being your race leader. He's going to hang in there until the very end here on those last bit of drops of Sunoco fuel in that number 24 machine, seeing if he can get those freshest tires whenever he gets out. So that will give him the fresh set of tires. So he's going to come down the pit road. So is Dan West Jr. and Jesse Gray. John Ottenbacher not going to come in. The 89 is going to stay out and lead a lap right there, as he is your new race leader here at the moment. We'll see if he can hang on to it. And there is the freezing back again. We do apologize for that. I don't know what is causing it, folks. We are going to have to keep digging into it. And we are going to keep trying to diagnose what is causing that problem as John Ottenbacher decides to go ahead and bring it down pit road. That's going to give the lead to Roy Grande, as he will be your new race leader, and he will lead that lap, as everybody has come down pit road except for the 51 of Roy Grande, who is out on the track here at the moment. We'll see, can he hang on to it is the question. Again, he will be the last one to come in. That's just going to set him up for a fairly good spot if he can pit it just right. Again, timing going to be crucial here in this race. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to or not, but he is definitely going to keep trying and see what he can do to maintain this lead even after he comes in for pit stop. I don't think that's going to happen, but he has completed now 23 laps, or 22 laps on this stand. He's on lap 23. He's almost has to come in here momentarily, as obviously he doesn't want to come in. He probably would like to stay out, but obviously fuel restrictions are not going to allow that. So he will have to make his way down pit road here shortly. If and when he does, that will allow the 2 of James Thurston to get back to the front, followed by Sean Brightsman, Chris White, and Jeff Stabnow. So when they do, not much will have changed after that point. And we'll see if he does go ahead and comes down pit road this time. And he does indeed. So the 51 of Roy Grande going to go ahead and come down pit road. And, of course, that will relinquish the lead back to the number 2 of James Thurston. But he's got Sean Brightsman all over his back bumper here at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see if he's able to run him down here. We'll find out in the next probably 2, 3, maybe 5 laps. If he's able to run him down. All right, and there you see it right there. Sean Brightsman is able to. We're just kind of letting these cars do the talking for us here for a minute, and that's exactly what we kind of expected we would see. Sean Brightsman is very fast here, but James Thurston been on a roll here in the number 2 Camaros, or 2 Camaros right now, running 1 and 2, and for that matter, the top 8 out of 10 drivers are Camaros, followed by 2 Toyotas. There is not a single Ford in the top 10 right now. As again, the top 8 going to be Chevrolets, followed by 2 Toyota Supras, the new Toyotas here. And then the Ford Mustangs rounding out before we have one more Toyota and Chevrolet. Casey Tillman called it quits early on in the race as his night came to an end a little bit earlier than he wanted. We're on lap 26 of 60 here at the moment. Interesting to see again who comes out on top. That's really what this all comes down to, is who is going to be on top, win this race. And when I say on top, that will put them at the top of the leaderboards for the chase, if they're a chase driver. Again, there's always that chance of an upset for a non-chase driver to get in. But I'm not sure if we even have any here. We may have 1 or 2 that are not in the chase. So things could get crazy if we start seeing drivers that aren't in the chase pick up wins. These guys will have to enter on points, and that can put a lot of stress on a driver to have to base getting on in the chase off of points. All right, again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. I know it's a late night for some people. You have a lot of things you could potentially be doing, but of course, you are here with us tonight, and we thank you for being here with us. So definitely let us know if you're enjoying the race on social media. Facebook, YouTube, however you can get a hold of us. Let them know you're enjoying the race. Of course, like it, share it, and get it out there to all of your friends. Let them know to tune in here tonight as Jeff Stabnow hanging in there, currently in the 4th. Dan West Jr., though, in that 55 machine, doing an awesome job. Just awesome to see him having the season he is having. Again, just a bang-up job. We referred to him as a Rocket Man Dan, as he has been so good in qualifying, has not had the runs come together that I think he deserved by any means, but he has had some good races, and I believe 2 wins on the season to go to it. So he has had some good finishes, not necessarily all of them going the way he wanted, but still overall a good season here for him, and he's in the chase moving forward. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see just how it goes for him in the remainder of this season. Alright, again, checking on some things here at the last minute, as it looks like Chris White is going to try to put the moves on the 24 Jeff Stabnow. Stabnow's got some damage on the right side of that car. I'm not sure when he acquired it, as he's going to have some scrapes there. I don't know if I'd call it any major damage, but definitely some cosmetic damage here tonight. As we'll go back up there to him, as we're going to switch cameras on him. and see if we can get a good shot of that damage. And maybe not. Maybe I just saw a reflection there. I thought we had some damage to the car, but not seeing it. Here it's here on that one side. So again, I thought we saw some damage, but we do see some damage. That is to the 07 of Dana Rogers. His machine is torn up. You can see the radiator, the engine, the roll bars, even those wheels, everything visible on that 07 machine, as it again has visible heavy damage. He's going to bring it down pit road and park it. We'll see if he's going to use the fast repairs. He has to back it up multiple times, and he does. Fast repair use Sean Brightsman, though. Out front, here comes James Thurston for the race lead. Can he get by him is the question. Again, having some more issues there earlier. Hoping we have it all sorted out. But what a battle for the lead here at the moment. It is going to be, I believe, James Thurston at the line. He'll lead his 6th lap of this race as he gets by Sean Brightsman. What a run. Anytime you can get by Sean Brightsman, you're doing something right on the track. And he is doing everything right here. Sean Brightsman having to fight to get every position he can. Stab now back to 3rd. Again, he was in 5th. He has clawed his way back up right there. You see him. He started first, fell as low as about 5th or 6th, and now he's in 3rd, although that's the lowest not being scored. We do know he was back in about 5th position. So interesting to see there just how it all plays out for him. Seth Frazier, let's go back and take a look at him real fast. In the number 32 machine, started in 4th, fell back to 10th. Here he is in 6th place. Not quite to where he started, but still moving forward, and forward progress is a good thing anytime you're in a race car trying to get a good finish. John Ottenbacher, we talked about him just a little bit earlier today. As you see him right there, he's currently in 8th place. He started 8th, but he's been as low as 10th, so he has fallen back, gained those spots back, but still no forward momentum, hanging right back where he started in the 8th position. So he's definitely got his work cut out for him here tonight to see if he can move forward through this field. Stephen Paulson there getting a little squirmy as he comes around the corner, almost catching the wall, but he keeps it going. We're halfway done with this race at the moment. Again, we are halfway done with this race, actually over halfway done, as James Thurston continues to lead. You would think Sean Brightsman was just ready to get by him. However, they just swapped positions. So we'll see, and he's not. It looks like Sean Brightsman is going to make another bid for the lead here on lap number 34 of 60. And indeed he does. He makes a bid for the lead. He takes it, Sean Brightsman, back to the lead here on lap 34. Question is, will he lead it? James Thurston has been absolutely amazing. We talked to Sean Brightsman earlier on in the night, and his words were, if this race gets, strung out, the cars are getting super spread out, and he did follow it up with, I don't expect that to happen. We can talk to him mid-race here while he's going around this track. It's kind of like a Sunday cruise for these guys. They just got to hit their marks. I don't think this is by any means spread out. He predicted it wouldn't get spread out. But right there, he's actually going to get a little bit loose, and actually a lot loose, and that's going to make him fall all the way back to 2nd place. So he dropped a whole 1 spot, but still, that is not what he wanted to see. And more importantly, not only did he lose the lead off of that, Jeff Stabnow can smell 2nd place as he can see that 46 machine in front of him. He's going to try to capitalize off that mistake, but Sean Brightsman obviously going to recover quickly. I don't think it's going to be too much damage there. I don't think the 24 of Stabnow is going to be able to capitalize off of it. So unfortunate for the 24, but good news for the 46, as he's able to just hang in there and not lose too many spots during this little incident there on the track. All right, there again, we're checking in on some stuff. I don't think we're going to get that caution we were expecting. I don't think these drivers expected us to go this long either, as we're on lap 17 of this stint. And we're on, of course, lap 37 of 60 as they just cross the line one more time. This is going to be one more stop, and there is that issue once again. I believe it's a CPU issue we're going to have to look into now as well. So we will definitely have to address that here in the coming days as quickly as possible. I'm not sure what that was, folks. We apologize for that. Again, having some issues we're having to deal with here tonight, as we thought we had it all sorted out, but apparently we do not. So we are going to keep trying to diagnose and figure out what is going on. But obviously something causing it to hang up there. It's less. We are going in the right direction. That is good. Speaking of going in the right direction, Jeff Stabnow was able to capitalize off of the little bobble there by Sean Brightsman. He takes second place as he's moving forward. James Thurston going to be the next one on his victim list to try to get by, and he's going to, thought he was going to try to make a move there, but he doesn't make his move. James Thurston good enough. He shuts that door and doesn't let him by, but this may be Jeff Stabnow's race. We'll see if it is. Jeff Stabnow going to go to the high side here. James Thurston going to go ahead and come down pit road, as well as Sean Brightsman coming down the pit road too. So two drivers coming down pit road here. Those were your front two for a while. It's going to go ahead and give Jeff Stabnow the lead, as your first and third place driver is going to pull off pit road. We'll keep an eye and see how it goes for the 24. Could this be the 24's night? He got back on his own. He got to the lead on his own. So it'll be interesting to see if he is able to get it. And he's going to come in a little bit shorter than he did last time. The 55 not going to come in. I thought Dan West Jr. may have been coming in there. But then it looks like he changed his mind at the last second and did not come down pit road. So interesting there. But Jeff Stabnow is going to come down pit road, and he is going to go ahead and take 4 tires of fuel. Dan West Jr. going to be your race leader now in that 55 machine. We'll see if he's able to hang on to this lead. We've had several different leaders here, as we'll pull it up there. We've had 0 caution laps, and 12 different leaders here tonight. We have had a ton of different leaders, and we're coming up on 20 to go. This time is he's going to go ahead and come down pit road, giving the lead to Chris White in the 83 machine, as Chris White obviously would love to get the win here and start this race off properly with the win. And we'll see if he can do it. He has led his first lap of the race right there. So question is, can he get the win here? We'll see. I really think Jeff Stabnow, Sean Brightsman, or James Thurston have cars to do it. It'll be obviously interesting to see if they can do it. John Ottenbacher leads his second lap of the race. He's back to the front of this field. Several drivers have led races here tonight already. We'll see. Again, we don't know who is going to be the race leader when it's all said and done here tonight. It's going to be interesting to find out for sure. But again, somebody has to win it. The question is, who is it going to be? We do apologize for the hiccups in the broadcast here. We have narrowed it down to only 2 so far out of the about 9 or 10 we had last time. So obviously making forward progress here. We obviously are going to be redoing some of our stuff here in the very near future, as we have some plans to get the water cooling back in place for the streaming PC so it can run smoother. And speaking of running smooth, Sean Brightsman and the 2 of James Thurston, Brightsman and Thurston stab now 1, 2, and 3 into that order. John Ottenbacher, though, not letting them have the lead back. Caution free here on a lap number 43 of 60. I did not expect us to do this race caution free. However, somehow we are making it work. Again, this is not quite what I expected here to go caution free, and I'm not too sure that these drivers thought we would either. I think they figured they'd get a caution or two, and they were banking on it a little bit, but it has not played out that way one bit. So it's something definitely to look into here to see if maybe we'll see a late caution here and push us into overtime. If that's the case, whoever pitted last stands a really good chance of potentially putting this thing in to victory lane later on tonight. Sean Brightsman still doing a good run. 22 laps for John Ottenbacher. He's going to have to come down pit road soon. I'm just not sure when it will be that he's going to come down. I would imagine it'd be here this lap or the next time by, as 22 laps going to be pushing it on fuel. Maybe banking, hoping to get that caution, and not going to get it. He's going to come down. As kind of planned, I figured he would come down that time. We're going to go over to Sean Brightsman, who will right there take the lead back. Sean Brightsman back to the front, leading this race. And again, no surprise. I really figured he would take it back. I didn't know if James Thurston was going to catch him or not. That gap currently 0.883 seconds behind. So Thurston trying to hang in there. Stab now sitting in third place. Again, if you had to be a betting man, those are the 3 cars I'd be betting on right now. The 46 of Sean Brightsman, the 2 of James Thurston, or the 24 of Jeff Stabno. I think those 3 have the best shot at getting the win here. Which one of them it is, I don't know. Seth Frazier, however, in that 32 machine, definitely not going to count him out just yet, as he is a good racer indeed in that, again, that Skoll number 32 Chevrolet Camaro here tonight, as he comes flying by the flag stand right there. So Seth Frazier, don't count him out. He's definitely someone to watch. We'll keep an eye on that and see how it goes And there it is, James Thurston still in there. But look how much closer Jeff Stabnow is. He has closed that gap in dramatically here in the last lap or two. As obviously Stabnow wants to get the win. He wants to get into that chase in the round of 8. That is what's on the line. Obviously, Brightsman doing a good job of hanging on to the lead. He's also in the chase, so he wants to get it as well. Who will end up in a victory lane here tonight? Well, again, we don't know. We'll find out as soon as you do. As I really think Jeff Stabnow has a winning car, but does he have enough time to do it is the question. As Sean Brightsman out front, followed by James Thurston and Jeff Stabnow. Stabnow doing everything in his power to try and get to the front. I just don't know if it's going to be enough. Oh, can he get him? We'll see. He's going to try to make a move here for the second place position. Again, he's still got to get by him and then get by the 46 of Sean Brightsman as well. And that's going to kill some momentum right there as he gets onto the apron. Again, that'll slow you down big time as he's going to keep digging. He's going to try to dive here in a moment. I would imagine here in the next lap or two, he's going to have to make his move as we're about 12 laps to go here in this race. Stabnow trying everything he can. Again, he's going to wear these tires out a lot more than he wants, trying to get by the two of James Thurston. I wouldn't even say Thurston's holding him up at all. Thurston is doing a fantastic job of doing exactly what he needs to do to hang on to that second position. And it's up to Stabnow to find a way around. He's right there. He may be holding up just a little bit if he is faster. Looking at their last laps, 53.968 to a 54.020. So as far as the speed goes, yes, Jeff Stabnow was a little bit faster, but I'm not going to say he's a ton faster. And I don't think I'm safe enough to say that he's holding him up on the track either. So Jeff Stabnow just going to have to find a way around the two of James Thurston here tonight if he wants to get up to the lead and try to get this win. There's a cloud rolling over there. Again, it's going to be a tough battle here if you are the 24 to try to get this win here tonight. However, on the flip side, if you're the 46 of Sean Brightsman, we're coming up right now. He's going to be coming to the line this next time by. He will get 10 laps to go. Again, that is 10 laps to go for the race leader of Sean Brightsman. Dan West Jr. and Seth Frazier back here battling as well. Chris White trying to get in the mix. That's the battle for fourth position. As you got a three-way battle going on between Frazier, West, and White. All again battling for that fourth position here tonight. Just outside the podium, but still a solid run if they can make it happen. Again, both of these guys right here are fierce competitors, and so is Chris White behind them, who has a little bit of damage, it looks like, to the back quarter panel on the right side. I don't think it's going to slow him down too much, but it definitely isn't going to hurt him any, or help him any either. So be interesting to see there if that indeed is the case, if he's able to keep that car in the right direction. If he's going to possibly get into the wall anymore, that'll hurt him with 10 laps to go. Sean Brightsman, we go back. He is still out front leading this race. And again, this is his race to lose now. We told you it'd probably be the 46-2 or the 24 that won this race. And we have gone caution-free here tonight as Sean Brightsman again, just out on cruise control. as Jeff Stabnow finally is able to get by James Thurston. As we were back watching some battles going on in the back. Now he has 9 laps for Jeff Stabnow to get up to Sean Brightsman to get this win with a gap of 3.033 seconds behind. And it just grew a little bit by 0.066, but now it's going to shrink just a little bit to 0.083. And now it's going to grow to 0.233. So the gap to the lead is growing. If you are the 46, you're liking this right now, as you're seeing that red car get smaller and smaller in the mirror. And not much smaller, but a little bit smaller anyway. As he is struggling there to try to catch up to him. Jeff's going to be pushing this car as hard as he can, but he's got old tires as well, so he's going to have to conserve just a little bit not to make any mistakes here and possibly get this car to go around. So it'll be something we have to keep a very close eye on here in the next couple of laps to make sure he keeps it going in the right direction. Meanwhile, Seth Frazier is going to lose 1 spot as Dan West Jr. is going to get by him. And here comes the 83 of Chris White. He's going to try to make a bid for 5th position off of Seth Frazier. Going to try to put that SimStar Motorsports 83 1 more spot higher. And it looks like he may do it. We'll see. We got that yellow number on the top of the 83 indicating, of course, a playoff driver. Cool to see that. Obviously painted himself. And what a run here for Chris White. Not the run he wanted, but still a good run, as he's probably going to get a top 5 finish out of the night, as we have now 7 laps to go for the 46 of Sean Brightsman. Again, cruise control is all we can say right now. If you're Sean Brightsman, he's going to go way out. And the reason he's doing that right there, if you're not familiar with this track, look how long the straightaways are. You can get draft from each other on this track. It's not a super speedway, but you can indeed get some draft. So they break that draft there just a little bit to try and make it a little harder for your competitor to keep up with you. So that is why he is doing that. No surprise that he is. We kind of expected it to happen. Alright, 6 laps ago. Again, the laps are just ticking away. Jeff Stabnow 4.1 seconds behind. He has pretty much secured his lead. If you're Sean Brightsman, a mistake would have to be made on his behalf for one of these guys to possibly get up there and make something happen. They're doing a fantastic job of just hanging in there at the moment. But I think, unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. 4.249 seconds for Jeff Stabnow. And right behind him, 4.516 is going to be James Thurston. Dan West Jr. way back here, but still in 4th position, as he is just now coming into the corner. These guys have already been through. We'll see a little wiggle there from the 55 of Dan West Jr. John Odenbacher, again, not having the best day that he would like to have, but it's unfortunate. It happens from time to time. It's a guy tonight just not being his night. As he's going to struggle, but still having a top 10 finish. So I wouldn't complain about it, but obviously he's going to look back and kind of hope wish he'd had a better finish here for the kickoff of the playoffs. But he's still got plenty of races and plenty of good tracks that we know he's good at. So no worries there. I expect to see him doing a terrific job. And we'll see as we go back. Caution is out for the first time tonight. And looks like it's going to be possibly for James Vining. Let's go back and let's take a look and see what happened. And we're going to have to go back a little bit further here for James Vining in that 3:33 machine. 4 laps ago, this will send us into overtime as James Vining, something went wrong in that 3:33 machine to bring out the first caution. And what is it going to be? Right there. Gets it loose, saves it. And I believe it's going to be happening right about in here. Right there. Gets it loose, and around he goes. And that will put him into the inside wall. Caution is out for the first time tonight with 3 laps to go. Again, this will put us into overtime here tonight. We'll go back to the front here as looks like your front 3 not coming down. And that's incorrect. We're going to have several drivers not coming down here to pit road. Sean Brightsman going to be staying out. Let's see if we can't get a word in with Jeff Stabenow here real fast, as I do not believe he's going to be coming down a pit road. We'll see here. We'll make sure he's not going to be going down pit road real fast, and then if he does not, we will go ahead and do it. And indeed, they are coming down pit road, so we're going to let them do their pit stops here real fast. And whoever comes out front, that will be who we talk to. Again, we will go green, white, checkered here, as the overlays will adapt for it now. With this new overlays we are working on. So green, white, checkered going to be in place here for tonight's finale. This race will not end under caution unless for some reason we have 3 attempts at it. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Jeff Stabenow, is he going to take 4 tires or 2? And we're about to find out as we'll switch cameras there on you. And it looks like it's going to be 4 tires and fuel for everybody. Nobody chancing it here. But an awesome stop for Sean Brightsman as he is able to get off and going here in 13.9 seconds. What a terrific pit stop here for him. James Thurston and Jeff Stabenow. Jeff Stabenow, this should be a double file restart. And that is going to put him on the inside, I do believe. Give us just a moment. We're going to see if we can't get a word in with Jeff Stabenow real fast. Jeff Stabenow, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you there, Charles.
Well, we got you here. We're under caution for the first time. Didn't expect it to go this way. But with the double file restart, you're going to be starting on the inside here of row 2. Do you think that is going to give you an advantage to get by James Thurston here and try to make a bid for the win?
Man, I don't know. It's kind of tough to pass, especially his first couple laps when everybody's running pretty hard here. It's just a tough track. I don't know if that gives me the bid or not. I think it really depends on whether I can get inside him, getting into the corners or not. Hard to say.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, we have the new overlays in place here, and we will have the green, white, checkered, as I showing 3 laps there. Then it'll go back to 4 and back to 3. So we will have a green, white, checkered. I believe it's 2 attempts, if I'm correct, here to do this. So is that why you came down and got fuel just in case we have that second attempt?
No, when I hit the wall there, I messed up my front end. I could barely steer that car anymore. So I was kind of limping around there at the end. That's when James got by me there at the end. So I needed to come down and burn that fast repair because there was no way I was going to be able to. I had an 8-second cushion to third. I thought I could hold that, or to fourth, but there's no way I could hold them off with the field bunched up and that front end tore up like that. It was steering was. I was probably steering at about 9 o'clock to go straight.
Well, definitely, it's been a heck of a race. like I said, I know we talked to you pre-race. I didn't expect us to go this far caution-free. I don't think any of the drivers did either. Did it throw your plan off a little bit?
Yeah, it did. I got a little frustrated there. I ran Sean and James down pretty easy. I had the speed. I just couldn't get by James. Probably had 3/10 a lap on him there, and I kind of let it get in my head a little bit and got into the wall. So I think, if anything, that's what threw my game off. I threw my own game off there when, like I said, I had a lot of speed on those guys after a few laps in, and then just couldn't get by James there. So, got into my own head.
You got into your own head. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, and hopefully we'll be talking to you in the top 3 or possibly a win. We'll see how it goes, and good luck.
All right, man. Well, hopefully we'll see you here afterwards. It's going to be a crazy restart.
That it will be, and again, hopefully we are talking later. All right, we'll get him back into his booth, as obviously we're not interviewing him anymore. We are, however, getting ready to get this thing started. The lights are off on the pace car. Again, it will be a 2-lap shootout, green, white, checkered, to finish this race, assuming we don't have another caution. If we do, we'll go to green, white, checkered once again, and that will be the second and final attempt to try to make this happen. We'll see how it plays out. We want to thank everybody for tuning in here on this late night broadcast here on Virtual Racing Network. We are live here for the Northwest Xfinity Series presented by Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm. And we again are setting ourselves up for the green, white, checkered here in overtime. As this will put us at lap 63 is how many laps we will complete if we go all the way to the end. Of course, the scheduled distance was 60 laps, so 3 extra laps being scored on the books here for the overtime. All right, pace car diving off. We're set to get this thing going one more time. As we're going to dip down low with the cars. Green flag set to come out. As there it is, green flag is added. We are racing here. They're going to come to the line right there. 2 laps to go. 2 to go. As the flagman's letting them know, will we make it around to the white flag here next time by and get the 1 to go. And it's a little beating and banging here. It looks like the inside line didn't quite work for Jeff Stabnow. He's hanging on, but here comes Seth Frazier. And it is going to be Jeff Stabnow getting the advantage. He's actually getting pushed by Seth Frazier to second place. And that is exactly the little boost he needed. I don't think it's going to be enough to get by Sean Breitzman. But again, the timing screen doesn't necessarily go in live timing, but it is Breitzman followed by Stabnow, not the opposite way. The overlay is obviously not updating properly because we're in overtime. But there it is right there, the white flag coming out. 1 lap to go. White flag's in the air. This race will not end under caution at all. Here comes Seth Frazier. He's going to try to take second place from Jeff Stabnow as he helped push the 24 to second. Now he's going to try to take it away as he's on the inside. And here comes James Thurston. He's going to try to muscle his way in as well. As there is the 32 of Seth Frazier. He's going to go way out there and try to cut that draft off just a little bit. It's going to be a just dead even match coming to the line. I do believe Sean Breitzman obviously going to get the win as the checker flag's out, and there is going to be the battle for Second place has pretty much come to an end as they're coming to the line. Sean Brightsman setting himself up to move on to the chase as he's going to break that draft there just a little bit, and he's going to get the win here tonight. Sean Brightsman is your race winner here. Moving on to the round of 8, followed by Seth Frazier and Jeff Stabnow. Those will be your top 3 here tonight. And, of course, then following behind them is going to be James Thurston, Jesse Gray, Stephen Paulson, John Ottenbacher, Roy Grande, Chris White, Dan West Jr., Frank Harris, James Vining, Dana Rogers, Chad Malik, and Casey Tillman will round out the field here tonight. That being said, we are going to go ahead and step away. We'll let your winner do some celebrating while we round up the top 3 drivers here in the booth, and we'll be right back with your post-race show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with the post-race show, and as always, starting with third place here tonight, that is going to be the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. We talked to him a little bit, asking him if the inside would help him any. I think it got him by a little bit. He was able to get by with the help of Seth Frazier, gave him a little bit of a boost there. But then he used that boost to get you to second and then turned around and took it from you. You finish in third. Obviously, you wanted to win. A solid third place finish, though. How was that car handling? And obviously didn't expect to have this long green flag run.
Yeah, first run I kind of just I overused the tires there a little bit, and I really struggled. I think you saw about 10 laps. I kind of started falling back a little bit. Guys started passing me. I struggled a bit. So we took it easy a little bit on the first couple laps of the new runs, and then that second run, I thought I was significantly faster than everybody else. I made up a lot of time. Got back to the leaders from about 6.5 seconds back. Hit a lap later than them, and then was working my way back up again, and then just made some mistakes. So I think the car was fantastic tonight. I think it handled well enough. I feel like I cost myself a shot at the win. I think I had a fast enough car to battle Sean for that. Never really did. So a little disappointed at that, but it's such a tough track. It handled great. And other than a few mistakes at the end, I thought I ran a pretty good race.
Definitely, we think you did as well. A fantastic run. Obviously, the goal was to get the win to move on to the round of 8. It's obviously Sean's going to be picking that up here tonight. You still got several more chances to advance into that round of 8. We'll talk a little bit about that. Obviously, when you're in, we hate to see any chase driver not get a win, but if you continually don't get those wins, at what point does that pressure really crank up, knowing I got to get in on points?
I don't think it cranks up until you have a bad race. You got 3 out of the 12 drivers not racing tonight. I know Brian Barnes showed up at some point. I don't know if he got any laps in. But you got at least 2 guys I don't think that even started the race tonight. And so for them, the pressure's on to get a win because, in this 4-race series, you just got to finish well. I think, especially with a couple of guys missing the race tonight, to move into that next round. So the key there was, as hard as I wanted to race Seth there at the end, and I did race him pretty hard. I kind of gave up there a little bit at the end because I think coming out of corner 2, I don't think you could have put a piece of paper between our cars. So corner 3, I decided I wanted to finish in the top 5 as opposed to not finish there. And Seth had the position on me anyways. But neither one of us were going to catch Sean. But I think in this round, I think solid points tonight will get you into the next round. If you have a bad night or miss a night, then yeah, there's pressure to get a win. Or one of those guys that are having bad nights get a win and take a point spot, then I guess it ramps up a little too.
Well, definitely a lot of things on the line here. Before we let you go, we always know you got some sponsors on that car and the shout-outs you got to give that make all this happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got to start with the teammates tonight. Sean somehow able to keep it together, listening to me have my mini meltdown with about 5 laps to go. So big hat tip to Sean. Sean's a great guy. Teammates are great guys. Walls Beard Co., as always, sponsoring the league, the cars, the team, all that. John and Mark, a couple of great guys. And then obviously you here with VRN, Charles. You make this all possible too for us, and what a fantastic partnership we have. Big shout out to all the drivers in the league and all the Northwest Series racers. We just have a good time out here, and then we'll give a little bit of a mention to the Northwest Tour, which is a league that your next guy that you're going to interview runs here, that's starting up super late models here on some short tracks. Starting up pretty soon that a lot of our guys race into. So we got a lot of guys from over there coming over here. So big shout out to all those guys for helping us have bigger fields, especially early in the year. And I think that's all I got tonight, Charles.
All right, so definitely congrats on the 3rd place finish. And as you said, our 2nd place finisher going to be that 32 of Seth Frazier. Seth, yeah, same thing. You kind of pushed Jeff to 2nd place and then said, here, I'll be nice. And then you took it away from him at the same time. Did you plan it that way? You're going to push him and then try to get it? Or did it just kind of work out that way in your favor? Hey, we may have lost Seth. Got a copy. Oh, there you go.
I'm sorry, wrong button. No, usually when you get wrong, 2 people and they're side by side, you take whatever lane's preferred. So I'd rather have the bottom than the outside here. So I went with Jeff, and then luckily got a run off of 4. I didn't quite have the long run speed that they had, so I was trying to make the most of what I had.
You definitely you made the most of what you had there, and you got to 2nd place. Sean obviously was fast all night. You worked your way up there, and then of course we got the caution. Once you had a 2nd place, do you think you need maybe 5-10 more laps, or maybe another caution to reset that field one more time and see if you could have got there and tried to sneak in that win from him?
Maybe with a short run. I didn't have nothing for him on a long run. Maybe on a short run, if we had a caution, I might have got lucky, but definitely nothing on a long run.
Well, you definitely had a bad fast car out there in that 32 machine. We know you had some sponsors on the side of it and some shout outs to give, so who those be for that solid second place finish?
Just my buddy Mike Wood back in Middlesex, North Carolina. He does all our paints for a bunch of us, and he's a really good dude. So if anybody needs a paint, go to him.
All right. Well, again, congrats on second place, and I'm sure there'll be many more here this season as well. All right, and of course that is going to lead us to the race winner here tonight. He locks himself into the round of 8, relieving a lot of pressure off of him to perform well later on. Obviously, I'm sure we'll be seeing him at the front of the field anyway, but not a necessity, more of a luxury at this point. As you pick up the win, Sean, obviously you did some nice burnouts there until a teammate came in there and did his celebrating with you.
Oh, absolutely. We got some good burnouts in, blew the motor, so it was just sitting there waiting prime for Jeff to come on in and take the Walls-Beard Co. Chevys for a, flight.
Yeah, speaking of flight, you were flying there tonight and then literally flying at the end, so you got the best of both worlds here tonight. No surprise to see you in victory lane here. We knew you'd be a threat, but going back earlier in the race, you had yourself, Jeff, and even James Thurston that were right there together. How confident early in this race were you that you had this one in the bag to get the win? Were you a little nervous with those two, as they seemed equally matched with you for a while?
I was pretty nervous all race. I think until about right before the caution came out, I felt pretty nervous. Had a good gap going. Saw Jeff kind of get around James, and I figured he was going to start making a run. And I think he just used up the tires trying to get around James, and then made some errors. But I was worried up until that point. And then obviously the yellow doesn't help, and bunches us all back up. So I was worried all the way till the end, really.
Well, it definitely, it was a crazy race out there. But again, you got yourself locked in, so you don't have to worry too terribly much about going into the next couple of races. Obviously, you're going to try to get those wins either way, but you don't have to get them. Again, it's a bonus if you do, not a necessity anymore at this point. And we know you got some sponsors and shout-outs that, again, make this all possible for your car to be sitting in victory lane here tonight.
Just got to thank Walls-Beard Co., Virtual Racing Network, Central Welding Supply, as alluded to, Seth's League and everything, Northwest Tour. Seth and BJ Tidrick run that. If you guys are interested in super late models, they run Sunday nights. It's a great league. I run with them. Really professional, super awesome group to run with. So definitely check it out if you guys are interested.
All right, again, congrats on the win here tonight. That is, of course, going to do it here for tonight. If we can click the right button in the overlays, again, that is going to do it here for tonight's racing action. Of course, join us tomorrow night for the Tel Valhalla Racing League on a Tuesday night. We'll be slinging some dirt. I'm not even sure what track we're going to. We have 2 races left. Either way, we're going to be slinging some dirt, having some fun in the mud. So join us tomorrow night around 7:15 p.m. Central Time. We'll be going live. So be there or be square. And of course, have a great rest of your night.